Hey guys, my name's Matt and welcome to Cobb Hill Farms. I got kind of a mixed bag plan for today. We got to move some round bales around. We got some work to do with the cattle. Other than that, I'm really not 100% sure what else we're going to get into, so just stay tuned and see what we got going on today. Before we get busy with any of that, I got one thing I want to show you.
How we doing, ladies?
Our first batch of broiler chicks showed up 4 days ago. 62 healthy Cornish cross female chicks. Back in late January, early February, when we pre-ordered our chicks for this year, we had a little bit of a scare. The hatchery we use had no male birds available through the end of September. So we were kind of stuck with making a decision. Do we want to go with straight run birds, which is a mix of male and female birds, or did we want to go with straight female? So after thinking about it and doing a little bit of research, we ended up going with straight female this year for two reasons. One, with a straight run batch, you don't know how many of each you're going to get, male or female, and their growth rates are different. So in an effort to keep the growth rates roughly the same, we opted to go with female. And the other benefit to going with female was the price per chick was significantly cheaper. I think it was almost $1 per chick cheaper to go with female versus a male bird. So we got 62 healthy Cornish cross chicks. They're doing really well. So I'm really curious to see how the females grow in comparison to the males. And we'll have to see if this is something we might do in the future. But either way, the brooder is occupied with meat birds, and they should be ready just in time for the first farmer's market of the season. This chicken brooder measures 4 feet wide, 8 foot long. It's 2 foot high. Right now we have the birds just confined to a 4 foot by 4 foot section. Works really well. We use this old comforter with 2 heat lamps to help hold the heat in. We should be getting a batch of 60 chicks every month from now through August. August will be a double batch, and that'll help us carry from basically October through the November indoor farmers market season. Bring it over here for now, please. Do you need some help?
Maybe a little.
Good enough. That's good. This is all we have left for hay to get us through until hay season. We got 9 4x4 round bales and a host of small square first and second cutting square bales over here. So this is what we got until the pastures are ready to turn the cows out. But I guess the one good thing, or one saving grace, is in just a short couple weeks we got one cow that's going to freezer camp, and then first part of June, the remaining 2 to go this spring are going to go to freezer camp, and they'll be ready just in time for farmers market. We're trying something a little bit different this year. We've never done before. We're going to have 2 cows cut up, USDA certified, so we can go to farmers market with beef along with our chicken and eggs this year. So we're really excited about that. It's been a long time coming. It's been a goal of ours to be able to go to a farmer's market and sell by the cut. So we're really excited about that. But this is what we got left for hay for the remainder of this year until first cutting rolls around in probably a little over a month. And next on the list of things to do is see how many 8-foot T-posts I got. And doesn't look like I have any. I think all these are 6 foot or 7 foot. Yeah, these are 7 foot. I need 8s, and I don't have any. So I guess that answers that question. I didn't think that was all of them. Man, it's a muddy mess out here. But not much I can do about it this time of year. Don't want to forget to plug the fence back in. I think the next thing I want to do is get this log splitter out of my way. I'm tired of walking around it. It's in the way. We're going to put it to bed for the summer. We're done doing firewood. We got plenty of firewood to get us through probably most of next winter, if not all next winter. But before we just go covering it up with the tarp, we got to fire it up and run this rod all the way back in the cylinder just to help protect it. But as you can see, I didn't plan very well. I need to use that crank to start the engine because it's a crank start, and the gravity wagon's in my way. So I guess I got to hook it to a tractor and get it out of the barn. Then we'll go from there. First thing I want to do is make sure the fuel is off of the sediment bowl, which it is. I like to run the carburetors dry, whether it be the log splitter or the tractors, if they're going to set for any length of time. I like to run the carburetors dry. I'm sure there's going to be various opinions on what I'm about to say, but what I do works for me. I don't run non-ethanol fuel in anything here on the farm. I've been doing that for years, and I've not had a lick of problems with anything. The log splitter, it starts right up after it sets for months. Never had a problem with a carburetor gumming up. Same thing with the chainsaw and the weed eater. You know, I don't have any problems with it. So I know people are going to have their opinions on I should be running non-ethanol fuel and blah 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 blah, but it's what I do. It works for me, so it is what it is. Now I'm assuming there's fuel in the carburetor still, and I only need this run just long enough to run this cylinder in the rest of the way. So I have the throttle set at 3/4, the choke is on. We should be good to go. Guess I wasn't quick enough to the draw. Well, I guess I was wrong. Now, is this exhaust too hot? Nah, that's pretty cool. I could probably put that tarp on, no problem. You know, I would really like to just be able to back this thing in the corner of the barn somewhere and forget about it, but I only have so much barn space, and for something I only use a couple times a year, it's pretty hardy. So I just do what I'm doing here and make sure the engine's good and covered and anything of any importance, and it'll weather just fine like this outside. And I've been doing it like this, I don't know, three years or so now, and it's been fine. It's done well outside. So I toyed with the idea of building a small little building for it, just for it, but again, it's one of those things that's way low on the priority list. So maybe someday when we win the lottery or hit this whole YouTube thing really big and we're making tons of money off of it, I'll put a nice big pole barn up out here and it can have a nice little spot in the corner of that. But until any of that happens, this is what we're doing. All right, let's go put this thing away. Always forget to put it in neutral. Before we drive away, I just wanted to take you out. We're right next to the field that we just spread manure in, and we've had quite a bit of rain the last few days. Couldn't tell you how much. I don't have my rain gauge out, but enough that there's no way we're coming out here anytime soon. it's pretty wet. We got a small little standing pond over here, which this is typical for this area when it gets wet. Holds water. But here's the manure that we spread. And this is what we need. We need a nice rain for the moisture to soak this down into the ground and kind of just make it become one with the soil and wash those nutrients down and let them be available to the grass. So, you know, as much as I'd love for it to be dry and we could get out here and do more, you know, I guess the rain is a beneficial thing as well. I guess I'm gonna have to come out here and pick a few rocks. They got caught up in the manure spreader. But the nice thing is, we'll just bring them over here and throw them in the creek. Time to head back because judging by those clouds, it could rain any minute. Let's check on the lady hens. They're all running from me. Got a nice little latch in here now. There's a little story behind that. Last week, Stacy and I were out here. I was feeding the chickens. She was in collecting eggs, and these chickens went nuts. They went and bombarded that door, and they pushed that door open, and we had 4 of them get out. We were able to get 3 of them right back in pretty much with no problem, but one of the Rhode Island Reds was out for about 26 hours. You'd think we could get that thing back in here? Every time we got anywhere near this chicken coop, it went towards the woods. So finally I got smart in the outside run. I put a little bit of feed inside that, left the outside door open to it. Of course, I kept all the other chickens out of that area. And finally, like 7:30 at night, it went in there, and Stacy was able to come down and close the door in behind it. We got it back in. So you kind of learn from your mistakes, misfortunes, whatever you want to call it. Well, let's see how many eggs they've left us for today. How many are you setting on? You gonna let me get them? There's 1, 2, 3. 3, 4 today. All the pullets that we got last fall, they're all laying now on a daily basis. So we're getting anywhere from 3 to 4 dozen eggs a day. So we've been easily keeping up with the demand from our regular customers throughout the winter. So much so that we've been putting a cooler at the end of the driveway and selling the remainder. So the eggs aren't hanging around on the farm very long, especially with the price of eggs at the store. So not every day on the farm is a glamorous or, you know, great big job. Today was just a lot of little jobs, stuff that needed to be done, but you know, you gotta take time to get that stuff done too. It's starting to rain, so I'm gonna head inside. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you like our channel, as always, we ask you to subscribe. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.